The Chiefs aren't getting any NFL favors, that's for sure. We got a live Q&A for you. Chiefs Kingdom, it's Monday, December 1st. How we doing? Good morning. Mike, the NFL's not doing any favors for the Chiefs. We saw that this weekend. We also asked for everyone's questions, concerns, and comments going forward into this Texans matchup. And we're going to talk about all that and more. But first, shout out to today's sponsor.
We've teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook to let you know that Missouri is getting an early gift from Santa this year. You can now bet on your favorite teams and players right here at home because DraftKings Sportsbook is now live and available in your state. We love DraftKings because it allows us to take action on same-game parlays, props, and so much more when the boys in the red and gold host H-Town this week. New to DraftKings? Sign up today and take advantage of this exclusive Missouri launch offer. New customers that bet $5 get $300 instantly in bonus bets when you sign up using our promo code ACU. With DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Let's go, baby. Download it. Use that promo code ACU. How are we doing, Chiefs Kingdom? Good morning, everybody. Do your boys a favor. Hit that like button on your way in. Let's get some more people in here. Mike, we're going to talk about everybody's questions, concerns, and comments about this Texans game coming up. But before we get into that, let's just talk about what happened this weekend in the NFL. How about it?
Let's go.
All right, baby. Number one headline is the Panthers shock the Rams as Matthew Stafford's fumble dooms L.A., Mike. In a stunning upset, the Carolina Panthers defeated the Los Angeles Rams with a critical fumble from Matt Stafford, sealing the Rams' fate in the game and highlighted defensive opportunism and Carolina's unexpected resilience. Did you see that one coming, man? The Rams have kind of been dominant this season, and then Carolina sneaks in and knocks them off. How about it?
Right. It just shows there's a lot of parity around the NFL, but I still think the Rams are the best team in the NFC, maybe the best team in all of football. So I would take the Rams any day versus Denver, I believe.
Absolutely, Mike. The Colts got beat by the Texans, which could be a good thing for the Chiefs, actually, because you kind of want the Colts to fall off and Jacksonville to win that division, probably. I think that's the best route for the Chiefs, I think.
Yeah, I think so too, but I don't know how probable it is, I guess, but it just feels early with 5 weeks to go. Like, we don't really know what we want yet, do we?
Yeah, I don't know. It's very, very confusing. That's for sure. But either way, Sauce Gardner suffered a calf injury in that game. A lot of people thought he snapped an Achilles. I don't know if they've updated anything this morning or not. Haven't seen anything. But not good news for the Colts. And then also the Chargers quarterback, Justin Herbert, has to undergo surgery on that left hand, buddy. I think he broke his left hand yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to cause him to miss any playing time. It might. The Chargers have a brutal schedule coming up. I feel like this is where the Chargers collapse, as always. It looks like Denver's still getting help from everybody to keep a 10-2 record. It's pretty wild what's happening with Denver right now. Like, they are literally just falling ass backwards into it. So it feels like it just might be their season, you know. So they're probably going to hang on and win the division, I would think. The Chiefs got to keep winning, though. That's all there is to it. And I'm telling you, Texans, it doesn't matter who we play or whatever. We got to win. There could be no stumbles. And so Colts, whoever, they're just going to have to lose. I guess you want the Jaguars to win that division, right?
I think so. I think that's the best path for the Chiefs.
They do have to play the Colts 2 more times.
Right. And, well, I mean, if Jacksonville wins that division, then they have their playoff spot right there. And then we go against the Colts for a wild card in which we have the tiebreaker. So I think that makes sense to me. But anyway, the Bears still surging in the NFC, man. Looks like they're the real deal this year, apparently. What do you think? Do you think that Caleb Williams is actually a decent quarterback? You think Ben Johnson got it together? How are you feeling about that Bears team? Because there are a lot of young guys. Kind of came in with a big question mark this year after a poor performance last year, and they're killing it, bro.
Yeah, that's another team in orange and blue that I don't know about. So apparently there's one of those in each conference. I'm still not sold on it. I think you're going to see a lot of these teams get exposed, but it may not happen to the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Mike, something else I wanted to bring up while we're talking about the NFL here. Let me find this picture. I found a lot of comedic relief in this, but it looks like that Shadur Sanders has the Browns in the hunt for the playoff picture with that massive 3-8 record there, baby. He's killing it. He started twice now, and they're 3-8. So,
Can
what do
you
you think
imagine
about the?
being 6-6 with us, and we're all freaking out, being like, "Dude, how do we?" These dudes are 3-8, and they're like pumped that they're in the hunt.
Dude, that is wild. I saw that, and I just started laughing to myself. I was like, I got to bring that up, man.
What are you in the hunt for at this point?
I have no idea.
The first
but
pick
I
of the
don't
draft?
think they're going to make the playoffs, brother.
Bro, they're in the hunt for a draft.
Well, I mean, to
pick.
be fair, the rest of that division is like 6-6. So if they were to all fall off, then the Browns maybe could swing in there. And
I don't see that happening. I would
No.
think the Bengals come back and win that division well before they do.
yeah, absolutely, especially with Burrow back. Mike, another big game with the orange and blue folks, the Broncos and Commanders last night. Watched that one. It was a wild one, close game, but the Broncos pulled it off in overtime after a failed 2-point conversion by the Washington Commanders to win the game. Mariota had a running back leaking out wide open for that 2-point conversion, and he threw it straight into the hands of Nick Bonito, and he batted the pass down, and that was game, man. That would have been a nice little upset there for the Chiefs. I mean, obviously trying to win that division right now in the AFC West is nearly impossible, but anytime you can see a divisional rival go down, you want to see that.
Probably so. I think from here on out, though, you probably root for the Broncos. As much as that sucks, you're probably rooting for them against, like, say, the Chargers. You would rather them to keep winning than the Chargers to sneak a cheap win, because I don't think you're catching the Broncos at this point. So if it's versus the Chargers, and I do think they play each other last game of the season, you're probably rooting for Denver, and more than likely, you know what Denver's doing? They're probably setting all their players and going to allow the Chargers to have a freebie there. So that's just the way it works. This worked last year, when we knocked out the Bengals or whenever that was, and they cried about it. So, I mean, the Chiefs have
It was
just set
last year
themselves
because
up.
we were scared of the Bengals.
Right.
Get it right.
The Chiefs have just set themselves up for just chaos, torture, anything else you have. Like, they just have
Right.
done themselves zero favors this year by just not winning some football games.
Brother, do you realize if they had just won the Jacksonville matchup, like a good football team should have done, that we wouldn't even be having these conversations right now? It'd be a completely different outlook. But let's get to the chat for a quick second. We got Kyler in here, our Chief KT, with the 2 bombs, says, how are we the favorite in this game? Texans are better. The Chiefs have been the favorite in every game this year, I feel like. No matter what, they're always the favorite. And I don't know if they should be this week. I'm right there with you, Chief KT. I'm not so sure about that.
Vegas always has their hands on the pulse, but the thing about this is they also do projection. And when you look at this Chiefs roster week in and week out, you see a team that could be the best team in football. They're just kind of self-inflicting wounds, and I get it. They probably shouldn't be, but when you look at those teams as a whole, the Chiefs are a better football team, and you're playing at Arrowhead. That automatically probably gives you a 1 to 2 point favorite right there. So they're
Right.
probably saying the Chiefs are about a 2-point favorite here. That's a field goal. I mean, it's not a big deal. I think having the Chiefs up by a field goal, they're basically saying they're going to win more than a field goal. But I would say somewhere between that 3 and 7 mark is probably right on the money. If the Chiefs get the win, I don't see the Chiefs blowing them out.
Right. I mean, the big thing in this game, and we'll talk about all this a lot this week, is going to be the trenches there. And we know the Chiefs have a beat-up offensive line, and they have one of the best defensive lines in football. You got to stop Danielle Hunter. You got to stop Will Anderson. It could be a rough week for the Chiefs if they don't figure out how to do that. But I think you're right, Mike. I think probably having them as a small favorite at home in Arrowhead might be the route to go, even though the Texans are on that winning streak right now. Shout out Don Herman, been a member for 7 months now. Let's freaking go, Don. And then we got Chaos and Order with the 5 bomb. Says, do you think the referees will screw us like they tried to do in the Colts game and like they did in the Cowboys game? So, man, I'll tell you what. Not a huge conspiracy theorist, but I kind of agree with this comment that you put down here. I think that the Colts game, there were a lot of questionable calls, and the Chiefs were able to overcome it. I think in the Cowboys game, there was no way for them to overcome it. Now, maybe earlier in the game, if they took control of it and got ahead and, not blanked across the scoreboard for 2 quarters, then okay. Maybe this wouldn't have happened. But, I mean, when it got to that point in the fourth quarter, it wasn't going to happen. They weren't going to allow it to happen. So I'm right there with you. How do I think they'll call it going into this one? I don't think it's going to change. I honestly don't. I know we'll be at home, but I don't think it's going to change. I mean, even in the Broncos game last night, I mean, they literally tried everything in their power to stop the Commanders from tying that up and taking it to overtime. They 2 fake penalties in a row, dude, to get them at like second and 25 on their game-tying drive. So I don't know. The refs are just really bad across the board right now. And I'm with Mike. Mike kind of said, you know, all the talk and all the ridiculous people out there talking about the referees cheat for the Chiefs and all this noise that's been going on for 2 or 3 years now. I think the NFL's kind of caved to a little bit, and it's almost like they're trying to make a point that they're not favoring the Chiefs by screwing the Chiefs. And not only did Mike point that out a year ago and before the season, but also Chase Daniel tweeted it out and said the same thing. That's kind of what he feels like's going on. I think there's something to that, man. How do you think they're going to call this one, Mike?
I think that you're going to see more of the same. To me, across the board, you mentioned it, it just looks like the NFL, the officiating in the NFL has just, the product has been horrible. It seems as though every year they'll make a new rule or a couple rules, and it's like they focus on that, and then they forget certain other rules. Like the snatch and grab technique that Josh Simmons uses, and I think Tristan Wirfs got called for a penalty yesterday on that. That is not a penalty, but they have called that over and over. Those OPIs you're seeing on Travis Kelce with the Colts, and you've seen on Xavier Worthy with the Cowboys, those are not penalties. Like, it's just not. So they are. We've said this from the beginning. It's not about the officials getting everything right or wrong or favoring one specific team. They're just bad across the board. And just so happens one team at the end has a little bit few more favorable calls, and that's why the Chiefs always get the whole the Chiefs cheat. Not necessarily the point. Like, we've took our fair share of really, really bad calls. And then a lot of the times when we did get the call at the end, the majority of them are right, and people are still crying about it. Like the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Like, the kid admitted to holding Juju. Like, he admitted it with his own mouth, but yet the Chiefs did something. I mean, like the Bengals game last year. The dude committed pass interference. I don't care if there was 10 seconds on the clock. I don't care if there was 10 minutes on the clock. He committed pass interference. He was there 4 yards before the ball got there. Like, that's just the way it was.
Right.
Likely stepped on the line. Like, you could see it plain as day. His toes on the line. Like,
I think the Chiefs got away with one call last year, and that was probably the PI and Pitts in the end zone there. I think Brian Cook hit him early. That's it. That's all I can really think of. But then, like, I don't know how people try to compare that to the Cowboys just being able to push off an entire game and them calling probably defensive pass interference when it should have been offensive pass interference.
I just don't see anything changing because I think the NFL officiating across the board is just atrocious. Like, they are wanting to insert themselves in the games this year. That's what you're seeing. It's
bad. 2 Bomb from Can I Pet That Dog says we need 30-plus runs this game against this pass rush. Mike, 30-plus, baby. Would you like to see 30-plus rushes from Andy Reid this week?
I want to see anything that can slow down the pass rush. So, look, if that's what does it, sure. Get the screen game working a little bit. Be more decisive. Be more decisive in the passing game. Have Pat, not try to scan the entire field and hold the ball for hours at a time. Let's get back to 1 or 2 reads and go. If it's not there, throw it away or get out of the pocket. You're going to have to be quicker because I'm telling you right now, if Jawan Taylor can give it a go this week, and from all things I'm hearing in Kansas City, he's going to try to play. He's still going to have an elbow injury, which means he could still re-aggravate it. If he don't get it, I don't want to go to Wanye, though.
Right.
I don't want to go there if he can't. I would much rather have Jalen Moore go to right tackle and play Esipo at left than to put Wanye Morris back in there. Yeah. And then on the other side, we know Simmons isn't playing. It's going to be Jalen Moore. It is what it is. We won a bunch of games when he played. He started 4 straight. He played 30-some snaps last week, I think. He struggled. He allowed 6 pressures last week in those snaps. So, I mean, coming off the bench was a little different. But once he got it, once he got the starting job and he come in, he played pretty well. He gave up 3 sacks in 4 weeks. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing you ever seen, but
right.
I don't know if we're super like just in trouble there. Now, I mean, they just have a good defensive line. Even if Josh Simmons was playing, he's going to get beat a few times by those pass rushers. There's no doubt
Right.
about it. So it's just a tough team. You're just going to get the tough defensive line. That's their strength, probably, of the defense. So you got to figure out. Andy's got to scheme around it. He's supposed to be so good, supposed to be so good at having time. He basically had a mini bye week this week. We've been off now for a week, and it's just now Monday. So
It's been a few days.
that's what I'm saying.
But-
So damn, get it together.
Well, my thing is that you absolutely cannot get yourself in a situation to where they can only rush those front four and just terrorize Patrick Mahomes with 7 guys back in coverage. You
No.
just can't get in that position again, or we're going to see a repeat of the Super Bowl. We're going to see a repeat of the Bills game. We're going to see a repeat of the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay. Like, Andy cannot get himself in that funk. He just cannot do it. I think he has to do everything in his power to make sure that we don't get in that situation. I think it starts with running the football. So right there with you. Appreciate the 2, buddy. And then we got Chiefs 007 with the 2 bombs. Says Brady missed an 0-2 and played the whole year. Yeah, so I mean, it has happened. We talked a little bit last night on a live stream about how Patrick Mahomes is actually having a pretty good season if you look at it statistically and from Mahomes' point of view. But there's just so much going wrong around him. It's just very, very difficult, and a lot of things going wrong in a lot of different places. A lot of things that are fixable that the coaching staff's just not fixing. Jamar Connor. But I mean, I think there's some things that the team also is a little bit out of their control at this point. Like, our pass rush is just not good, and that's a personnel problem. And Brett Veach let that ship sail. So, I mean, right now you got what you got. So now Spags has to figure out how to get pressure on quarterbacks with what we have. And, I just think going forward, they're just going to have to be very, very strategic and very smart in their game planning. Because they have to win. They have to win 5 games in a row, and they're starting it off with a really tough team on a hot streak right now. So, Mike, let's get into these questions, concerns, and comments from the Kingdom. They put them out last night, and we're going to talk about it a little bit here today. Before we do that, though, I just want to shout out Zarda, by the way. If you guys are anywhere close to Blue Spring or Lenexa, get over there and get you one of those $11 lunches, baby. Zarda, they have delicious food, best sauces in the game. Get over there. We're going to get a lunch for $11 that tastes like Zarda. Nowhere. So go over there and get it. Tell them All Chiefed Up sent you. They also have wings. They have all kinds of stuff. Don't miss out on it. Mike, we'll start it right here, baby. We got this big one from Dylan. He wrote us a soliloquy here. He says they can turn this around. It starts with the Texans, but they need to fix the issues on both sides of the ball now. I will be happy if we just make the playoffs. If so, then the season wasn't a complete bust. But if we don't, then Veach should be able to get a good draft spot, get actually good players, and some during the offseason trades. Like, come on, we won a Super Bowl with MVS and the worst wide receiver roster. Now we have arguably the best roster, and they're 6-6. Something doesn't add up. Like Kelsey said, you got to fight for your right to party. So let's fight or die trying. What do you think about that, Mike? I mean, I think that he's got the positive outlook that you have to have. Big theme in these. We had probably 60 comments, and the biggest theme was the season's a wrap. It's over. We're done. Let's move on. Let's talk about the draft. Let's tank. Let's do this. Let's do that. So it was nice to see a handful of people that actually still have a little bit of hope in this team. And it's tough. Mike, you've talked about everyone's lost confidence in this team at this point. But you got 5 games straight here. If you come out and beat the Texans this week, you put yourselves in a really good position to run off the last 4, I believe. I talked about that a little last night because, all you have to do is split with the Chargers and the Broncos. You have to beat the Raiders and the Titans. So, I mean, that's not so far off. Just got to beat this Texans team, man. But how do you like the positivity coming from Dylan there?
I think you have to be somewhat positive. Again, he mentioned it. This is a better roster than last year's team. Just the breaks fell our way last year. Just the coin toss, 50-50 games fell in our favor last year, and this year they just haven't so far. But we do still have the same players. We got the same nucleus. Now, there's something to it. I feel like they're not playing with the same passion, the same fire. Maybe they've lost a little motivation. Maybe the outside noise has got to them. We've honestly been outcoached in 80% of our games
Right.
this year.
Big problem.
So that's a big problem. And again, Andy he's had all this extra time to try to figure out how to defeat this pass rush. You can't tell me he's never went up against a good pass rush in all his years of coaching, and he's had a subpar offensive line. This has had to happen to him a few times. What went wrong? What went right there? And what can we implement here? This is a great week to implement some running backs some more. Dameon Pierce should be back being able to play again this week versus his old team, the Texans. He should get some carries, maybe in the passing game. Let Brashard Smith play a little more. This is a great – we keep saying this every week, but this is a great week to get Brashard Smith going in the passing game a little bit more. There's several things you can do to slow that pass rush down. They got to do it. One more thing about his comment. A lot of people are saying draft, focus on the draft, blah, blah, blah. In the same breath, they say Veach is a bad GM, Veach can't draft, Veach misses. So what's the point of having good draft picks and tanking if Veach is going to whiff on it, according to you? Now, I'm not saying that, but a lot of Chiefs Kingdom thinks he whiffs on 90% of his picks. And you might have an argument there, but if that's the case, do you want to whiff on a top 15 pick that you're going to have to pay more? Would you rather whiff on a guy late in the first round? I would much rather whiff on the cheaper guy later in the draft.
I would rather pick last in the draft and hit like Josh Simmons.
Right.
This year.
But the
That's
thing
what I would
is
like
you
to
can
do.
get good players along the board. You do not have to tank to find good players. Like, yes, you do get good players in the top 10, top 15, but there are a lot of bust in the top 10 to top 15. Like, the Chiefs have been there, done that before several times. So you're not immune to it. I don't think you tank any, like having Patrick Mahomes on your roster and saying we need to tank a season is maybe the most asinine shit I've ever heard.
I'm right there with you, dude. It's pretty wild.
Anybody that says that, you should not listen to their takes.
Right.
Ever.
And to add on to what you said about stifling that pass rush a little bit, I think the name of the game there, the scheme that Andy needs to have is as simple as, hey, let's scheme certain guys open. Let's let Patrick know where he's going with the football before he even snaps the damn football, because that's how you're going to beat a very quick pass rush, right? You can't drop back and go through a progression of 5 different receivers every play. It's just not going to happen. So Andy's got to scheme certain guys open, and I think that you have the team to do that, man. Rashee Rice, monster. Xavier Worthy, speed for days. I think that you can scheme some of these guys. Just get the ball into their hands quickly and let them do work. That's all you got to do against this pass rush to stifle it just a little bit. And then if you keep the run game going, you make that defense play honest, then I think we have a good shot at winning the football game. Mike, the old path here says concern is that it's do and die, and they're still going to do what's put them in this hole in the first place. Take Bolton out as a dime backer. Stop using Connor as the nickel back. Add O-line so we have extra bodies if the O-line goes down. And this pass rush is trash. Quarterback spy and let them rush the passer, create chaos. I guess probably the only thing that I don't agree with on that comment, Mike, is Nick Bolton's got to be in the game, guys. I mean, Nick Bolton is a good football player. Nick Bolton's been put in some bad positions this year. But it's a scheme thing more than it's Nick Bolton. So Chamari Connor got to come out. Absolutely. Will he? Probably not. But he's definitely a detriment to the defense. And, of course, any O-line depth is going to come in handy.
Right. Well, we can run a spy. You can absolutely do that. But you're taking a guy out of coverage and you're taking a guy out of the pass rush. So now you're essentially down to 10 men. So, I mean, a spy kind of just negates the fact that the offense runs 10 people. And that's why when you got a dual threat quarterback or a guy that can get out of the pocket, you can gash defenses, because now you put 11 on 11, whereas it's usually 11 on 10, because you don't really have to, you don't usually plan for a quarterback. He just kind of goes back in the pocket and sits and does what he does. But you've got that extra guy running around, right? But the spy does attribute that, so you get less guys out of coverage. Look, the whole point of all this is Spags he has always been bread and butter, man-to-man, bump and run, beat you to death, pressure the quarterback, force your QB to get uncomfortable. Over the past few years, he has started to implement more zone and more zone and more zone. And now we are a zone team 70% of the time, probably. Maybe
too.
more.
It's bad.
I don't know why we've decided to get into this zone crap, but this is what they've decided. And the only thing I can think of is maybe they just seen across the board that all the rules favored the offense. And if you play physical on wide receivers, you're just getting call after call after call, defensive holding, defensive pass interference. That's the only thing I can think of. So they're trying to just confuse guys. But look, I totally get it. Chamari Connor should not be playing anywhere near a nickel. I would rather have
I don't know if he should be playing anywhere near an NFL football team.
No, that's true. but I would prefer him to come down in a box and play more of like, look, maybe he can blitz. Maybe he just, sits down and helps the run support. But I'm not having him cover anybody. I would rather have, if I could choose him as nickelback or Chad Kroger as nickelback, I'll take Chad Kroger in pass coverage. That's the way it works. I'll take
Who's
the
Chad
actual
Kroger?
band.
Is that the lead singer of Nickelback?
Yes, I'll take the actual band Nickelback in coverage before I'll take Chamari Connor. That's the point we've gotten to. And so is Spags going to switch it? I don't know, and I honestly don't think he will. He seems very. This is why we've been out coached when we've been out coached. Be it Andy, be it Spags, be it whoever, even Dave Tobe. They're too stubborn. They are too stubborn. They are right fighters. They would rather fight you and want to be right about everything all the time their way, or they would rather lose. That's just how they are. They're right fighters.
Well, they got to stop that shit, Mike. Scott Crosser says Hicks not getting more snaps this year. I thought he would be someone we were talking about this year, but has mostly been non-existent. Well, I think that kind of plays into the fact that all the snaps are going to the wrong people, right? I mean, that personnel issue we were just talking about with Chamari Connor, Jaden Hicks should absolutely be on the football field as much or more than Chamari Connor. Also, Chamari Connor is not a cover corner at all. He should maybe play safety sometimes. He can come up in the box. He can do okay. He still misses a lot of tackles, in my opinion. But, I just think it's a matter of the coaching staff and their personnel. They're not using it properly.
Yeah, I totally agree. Jaden Hicks only had 14 defensive snaps versus the Colts in Week 12. That's insane. Wow. I'm not 100% sure how many he had last week, but they're just not using him. And look, they're using him more in the second half of the season than they did in the first.
Right. So well, last week they brought in Mike Edwards and had him playing. So I mean,
yeah, he was playing a lot more. I want to find it for everybody and let you know exactly what he's doing right now. I want to know how many snaps he has played.
Mike, we had a members only series at the beginning of the season, or kind of towards the end of the off season, and a lot of the questions that we would ask the guests were, "Who do you think the breakout player for the Chiefs is going to be this year?" And 9 out of 10 of them said Jaden Hicks.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone expected him not to get on the football field. So that's pretty wild. While you're looking for that, man, Charles says we need to limit penalties. Absolutely, 100%. The Chiefs have to play as clean as they possibly can. Just discipline. They have to make sure that they're not adding to the penalties that the refs are already going to throw in their face for no reason. I mean, there were some penalties in that game. The Dallas game, I think we had like a ridiculous amount of penalties for well over 100 yards. And I would say, probably 30% of them could have been cut out. They were our fault. It was us being undisciplined. Granted, we all know that there was a lot of ridiculous penalties just to further that Cowboys agenda or whatever the hell they're trying to do. But something wild with that one. But every game this year, I feel like the Chiefs have kind of shot themselves in the foot with penalties to a certain degree. So I think they definitely got to clean it up. That's where you got to start, right, with the basics. And the basics is just doing all the little things right and not getting any extra penalties on top of yourself. Any luck on finding that snap count, Mike?
Yeah, I'm going to bring it in right now for everybody because I went ahead and just grabbed every Chiefs DB snap count so you guys can look at them side by side and you can see. I mean, we all know, we watch the games, we know who Spags plays and who he don't. But you're going to be kind of shocked at some of this, I believe. And I mean, maybe you're not. I mean, if you trust what you see on the field, you're not shocked because he really hasn't let people play. Here you go. Trent McDuffie has played 97.5% of the snaps. Jalen Watson is at 96, basically 97. If you look all the way down, Chamari Connor has played 97. So basically, it is McDuffie, Watson, and Connor. That's how you're getting it. Brian Cook has played 75% of the snaps. Of course, he's missed a lot of games he's missed some time due to injury this year, so that's knocked that down a little bit. Christian Roland Wallace is barely over 25% of the snaps. Joshua Williams, guys, has played 17 defensive snaps all freaking season. 17. They have found 17 snaps for him. Christian Fulton, who's making $10 million a year, has played 27 snaps all year. Jaden Hicks has only played about 50% of the snaps. He's played 49% of the snaps. Noel Williams, by the way, after looking as good as he did in the first half of the season, he has dwindled down to 22% of the snaps. So he will play 1 out of every 5 snaps is what he does.
Right.
So Jaden Hicks is playing 1 every 2 snaps, and Noel Williams plays 1 out of every 5. That is not enough. In my opinion, I think it needs to be McDuffie, it needs to be Jalen Watson, and then when you have any relief there, that needs to be Noel Williams. And I am telling you right now, Christian Fulton needs to be playing a little bit if he's ready to go. If he's ready to go. If he still doesn't know this playbook yet, I would be giving it to Josh Williams. I don't know how Josh Williams has not got any snaps.
I think the most egregious thing is one that you didn't even mention. Like, I kind of can, 50% of the snaps for Jaden Hicks is one thing. But I think the problem here lies within the fact that Christian Roland Wallace is tenfold better at nickel corner than Jamari Connor. And we're looking at a guy that's only played 27% of the snaps. Give him those snaps, and I guarantee you will see a much different defense.
Yeah, here's what you're seeing, though. You're seeing Chamari Connor is kind of positionless. He roams, he plays here, he plays there. He's not fast enough to be a legit corner, and he's definitely never playing. I would never trust this guy to play corner on the outside. Come on, that's ridiculous. But you're never playing over Watson, McDuffie. You're probably not playing over Fulton. You shouldn't be playing over Josh Williams on the outside. You shouldn't be playing over Noel Williams. So he's got to play that nickel spot to keep him on the field because he's not also a true safety. He wants to play, he wants to play Brian Cook. He wants to play, he's playing whoever back there at safety. Chamari, I guess, is considered that second safety, but you've got to look. Jaden Hicks is not necessarily, or Chamari Connor's not necessarily coming off the field when Jaden Hicks is coming on the field.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Chamari's never coming off the field.
Right.
What are you talking about?
He's making some position for Chamari so he never has to leave the field rather than just pulling his ass out of the game when he shouldn't be in there. And what it is his resistance to pull him off the field at any given moment is what causes a lot of our problems because quarterbacks are just finding him and eating him alive.
Yeah, dude, Spags is having a terrible year when it comes to personnel, like using the guys that he needs to be using. And here's the thing. A lot of people, I've seen a couple in the chat, Spags needs to go and all of that. And I completely disagree with you. Spags has been lights out since he's got to Kansas City. He's a badass defensive coordinator. But even the best of the best, Mike, they need to be checked on their shit sometimes. And Andy Reid really needs to step in here as the head coach and be like, Steve, I don't know what you're seeing out there. I don't know what you're trying to do, but it's not working. I don't know if I need to tell you that because it's pretty obvious, but this guy, Chamari Connor, does not need to be on my football field. Give the snaps to Christian Roland Wallace. Give the snaps to Jaden Hicks.
Honestly, though, how could Andy Reid look anybody in the eye and give them that exact speech when he does the same shit on the offense?
Dude, I don't care. He's got to do something. It's his team.
Well, I'm just saying.
Are you going to sit there and let him die by Jamari Connor? I don't get it.
See it on his own side of the field. So I'm sure he has the blinders on for Spags. So it is what it is. It's like he's going to stay with Jamari Connor. We are stuck with this guy. And he's on a rookie contract.
That will be the hill they die on. I'm telling you.
Do not be surprised if Spags sticks around if they don't extend Jamari Connor's contract. We'll be stuck with this guy for the next freaking 7 years.
No. Bryant says, I don't think we are contenders, but I think we could get in the playoffs if we beat the Texans. Chargers' remaining schedule is brutal. Right there with you, Bryant. I think beating this Texans team is the key to getting in the playoffs. And I'm not saying they can't drop a game after that and completely miss the playoffs or anything like that. But I do think that your chances of going up, Mike actually had a tweet from our boy Price. Let me pull that up real quick. Kind of goes along with this. He said the Chiefs entered Sunday with a 43% chance to make the playoffs. So this was after the loss to the Cowboys. After the games yesterday, that number went down to 39%. So like we said, the NFL didn't do any favors for the Chiefs. But with a win against the Texans, that number jumps back up to 52%. That's per The Athletic and our boy Price Carter. I think you beat the Texans and your chances obviously go up tremendously. And I think that the rest of the schedule.
If you beat the Texans, you got a 50-50 coin shot, like a coin flip.
Right, but like I mentioned earlier, Mike, 2 of those games, if you lose to the Raiders or the Titans, you deserve everything that comes your way. You deserve every bad thing that happens.
This is the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Chris Jones, Travis Kelce, Steve Spagnuolo, just a dynasty. And if you win a Week 14 game, you got a coin
Mike,
flip.
we all understand the shitty situation we're in.
Yeah,
we don't have to stress that.
You've got a coin flip.
I don't think we have to stress that. But beating the
we
Texans,
have to stress that.
Beating the Texans is got to be. Obviously, if you lose the Texans, you're done for.
Well,
but
I think we know that too. So I mean,
but I'm just saying, out of all the games, like this one's definitely the most important one. Obviously, because it's game one, you have to win them all. But at the same time, your chances go up tremendously after that. I think this is the toughest matchup.
Well, here's
that the Chiefs have.
The point of all of it. I think if you could go out and play a flawless game versus the Texans and beat them by 40 points, and this exact same Chiefs team gives you no confidence that you would go out, you probably lose to the Titans. That's what I'm saying. There's no consistency across the board here. Right. That's kind of the thing. Like you can be great one week and horrible the next, and there's just no accountability there. It's just not happening.
Right. A guy over on Facebook talking about Shamari Connor says Daniel Sorensen was the same problem and he refused to sit him. This is no different. The biggest difference to me, Guy, is the fact that Shamari Connor doesn't make big plays when we need them. Dan Sorensen did. And that's crazy because overall, Dan Sorensen, he got roasted and would never take him out. I'm right there with you on that.
Dan Sorensen made a hell of a play in the playoffs to spark a comeback versus the Texans. So maybe this is Chamari's week.
Saved the game against the Browns in the playoffs. I mean,
maybe versus the Texans, Chamari steps up.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to hold my breath.
Do you also remember 2 years ago, people were calling for Spags to be fired? Do you remember the whole Spags getting fired the first time? He turned it around versus who? The Texans. So maybe this is a nice little story that we're building this week.
At Tanvec says our depleted O-line versus the Texans D-line. That's all he has to say, man. We all know it. We all see it. Here's the thing, though. Jalen Moore gets the start on the left tackle position. You get Jawan Taylor back. If Trey Smith comes back, Kingsley and Creed obviously going to be a go. I'm not like completely upset about that. Now, if it was Mike Caliendo and Wanye Morris and all of them, then I would hang it up. I would just say, you go guys, it's been fun. Let's just forget about it. But I think with the offensive line that I just said, I think we have a fair shot. I think they can do pretty well. Like you said, that defensive line is going to get theirs, but I think they can hold them to manageable.
Right. And where Andy comes in is he will not stop playing. I don't know if it's Andy or Andy Heck. One of the two Andys. Could be Raggedy Ann and Andy for all we know, calling these. But one of these two guys are Wanye Morris truthers, because I would still, as I mentioned earlier, Essa Pohl would be on the field over him.
That's terrible.
So I don't think it's that bad. This is what I was bringing up while you were talking, Steve, because I thought you were going to talk about Jalen Moore a little bit. This is the 6, 7, 8, and 9 is when he started for Josh Simmons. If you look across that board, he allowed 3 pressures, 2 pressures, 3 pressures, and then versus Buffalo, he had his worst game. He allowed 4 pressures, 3 QB hits, and he allowed a sack. He did give up a sack in every game but the Raiders. But then in Dallas, when he come in, had to play 27 snaps, he got tore up. 6 pressures, 6 hurries, 26.3 PFF grade. So obviously he does better when he starts, I think, than when he just comes in cold, which is probably true. Dallas had a pretty decent defensive line coming at him the other day. So,
Right.
look, it's nowhere near what he's getting ready to play. That's for sure. So he's going to have to, but he's got a full week to prepare it, in my opinion. I think Jalen Moore will be serviceable to very good. I don't think he'll be great. But he's going to give you enough to win. Again, this is Andy Reid and Mahomes and Nagy. They've all got to get together this week, come up with a plan to negate that pass rush.
Right. And that pass rush is going to become a little extra, and the Texans are going to become a little extra because of last year in the playoffs. They truly believe
they got cheated in the playoffs.
They truly believe that they should have won that game. That they should not have been called for roughing the passer when they were roughing the passer. And they truly believe that in their hearts that they were cheated. So they're going to come in here swinging.
When the guy hit Mahomes in the head.
Right. And when they forearmed him in the head and, all the other stuff that apparently they shouldn't have been called for. But whatever. Garcia Roofing says, never underestimate the heart of a champion. Kansas City Chiefs Kingdom rules. Defending reigning 3-peat AFC champions. 15-2 season record last year in spite of all the injuries. Undefeated at home, including the postseason. World record for the loudest fans at Arrowhead Stadium. Best quarterback in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes. Best kicker in the NFL, Butt Kicker. Chiefs Kingdom will rise and show the world what real Warriors look like and dominate down to February 2026 and bring back what belongs to Kansas City. Chiefs Kingdom rules. Garcia giving the freaking Remember the Titans speech.
Garcia just out here
Let's go.
Just spouting off like facts. He's just
Mike,
facting.
At a time when things are dire for Kansas City Chiefs and Chiefs fans, I think what he just did there, they should be horned up and run through a brick wall for him, okay? He's trying to bring it back.
Hey, you ever heard that saying, shouting it from the rooftops? Garcia Roofing.
Garcia Roofing. Let's go, shout out. Garcia doing the Lord's work. And then right after him, we got Jack. He says, I got to believe. Hopefully Mahomes finds a way. Mike, Mahomes, when he gets in those modes where it's do or die, a lot of the times he'll do. And we saw that in the game against the Cowboys. But sometimes Mahomes can't do it all himself. And that's been a theme for this team over the last 8 years.
Yeah, true. I mean, look, if you're the best to ever play, in which we think he is, there's no better time to come out and prove it than right now. Because, I mean, that's just the way it is.
Heck yeah, baby.
Uh-oh. We got some gifted. We got Pops in the house with 5 gifted.
The old man shows up. Let's
Pop's
go,
supposed to
baby.
be at work. We also got Steve-O in the house giving out a gifted membership. Appreciate
Let's
you, Steve-O.
go. Hey, that's two legends. That's 2 legends in the chat, guys. If you are a member, throw out that legendary emoji and let's freaking go. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for that. If you did not get one of those free memberships, you can still become a member of the channel. Join.allchiefedup.com. It's just $4.99 a month. Cheaper than a bag of potato chips. And you know what? If you subscribe and it automatically comes out of your bank account every month, you won't even know it's missing because it's $4.99 and it's 2025. That's like losing a penny. You know what I'm saying?
Until it overdrafts you 1 month and you're down $40.
That ain't going to happen. All these people don't look. I'd be willing to bet that 65% of you guys have a Planet Fitness subscription that you haven't used in 3 years.
That's me.
I would bet the other 25% have a car wash subscription and they've not been to the car wash but one time in the last 3 weeks.
I don't do that.
You know, so I'm just saying, get you a membership. We just gave out a signed Noah Gray jersey. We gave out some all chiefed up merchandise. Gave out a hat, hoodie, shirt. I don't remember what all we did, but we gave out a bunch of stuff, and we're going to give out more stuff this month. So go to join.allchiefedup, become a member, and you can do that because we're going to have a lot of stuff coming out this month. Speaking of, if you'd like to get one of these hats or maybe a Merry Chiefsmas shirt
or this,
or even an all chiefed up hoodie, now is the time to do it, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to go to merch.allchiefedup.com because today only, baby, we stepped it up for Cyber Monday. 40% off the entire store with promo code HORNMonday. So get over there. If you've been waiting on getting something, stop your waiting. Now's the time. 40% off. That's basically me and Mike being like, hey, take our stuff.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to get a single dime of profit
we're not
on
gonna make
any
a
of
dime
this.
off this. So
Okay.
just go rack it up.
We're literally giving you things right now. Get over there. Use the 40% off. Promo code Hornt Monday. It's the entire store. So make sure to get over there and do that. Don't miss this opportunity because it only comes around once a year. I mean, you got to get it done today. So get over there. I want to see them orders start popping up, baby.
Today's December 1st.
Guys
It's time to get in the
stuff.
Christmas season, too.
It absolutely is. And I mean,
It's time.
dude, I've been wearing this every live stream for the last week.
Yeah, I got
You
the
know, I
candy
got the
cane.
Christmas season
You
early.
see it? The candy cane pole working.
You always have a candy cane pole
But I'm
working.
getting
Don't
the
you try
candy cane
to
pole
don't
working.
you try to act like
I've
that's
got
just
the,
for Christmas.
I've got the Christmas couch going. You see it with the
I
pillow
do see that.
looks like a present.
Yeah, I see that. It's a little dark,
So
but I can see
look,
it.
we got it going. I'm about to put up a Christmas tree back here. Matter of fact, you can see the sign that says trees, but I'm going to put a real tree.
I
And if
can't.
you see right here,
It's
which
dark,
you can,
buddy.
it's dark. But there's a nice Chiefs there, an old truck picture with a Chiefs logo on it.
Mike, you're gonna have to get yourself a Christmas tree with some lights so we can see that stuff back.
I'm going to get that up soon.
What about it? We got our boy Perry in the house with a 5 bomb. Says my concern is if we win out, nothing will change, and the staff needs a major shakeup. Nagy, Heck, Embry, Tobe, just a start, and willingness for a speedy defensive end. Brother, we preach from the tops of the mountains, from the rooftops. Nick Bonito, please draft Nick Bonito. Please, please, for the love of God, draft Nick Bonito. They didn't do it. And look at them now.
They didn't care.
Yeah, they didn't care. Here's the thing, man. I think either way, unless the Chiefs were to somehow pull this one completely out of their butts and win a Lombardi this year, which the likelihood is tiny, right? I think you're still going to see some kind of a shakeup this offseason. I think that Clark Hunt will make sure of it. I think that Brett Veach will make sure of it. Embry, I think, is probably safe. Heck, honestly, probably safe because we've seen some bad O-lines and some poor development, and he's still here. Tobe and Nagy, that's the ones that I would eyeball. If things go awry here, Mike, and the Chiefs miss the playoffs, you want to chop some heads. You want heads to roll. You want everybody to wake up and realize that you're serious, that this cannot happen. This will not happen. So I think you go as high up as you can. And I think that you go Dave Tobe. I think Dave Tobe is that guy. He's the assistant head coach, right? He's also the special teams coach is what you know him by. But for all intents and purposes, if Andy can't go, Dave Tobe is our head coach. And that's wild to think about because he sucks at special teams. I think that's the one that you chop. And if you want to do 2, Nagy's next.
If
What do
you think that Tobe hasn't been a problem, like Sky Moore's flourishing over there in special teams
yeah,
with the 49ers.
Dude. Tearing it up, son.
Come on, he couldn't even catch a football here. You think he just magically got better one day?
Yeah, no, of course not. Perry with a back-to-back 5 bombs. Or is that 2 different Perrys? We got Perry squared, baby. A little double dose of Perry, a little double vision.
Little Perry Squarey, hey?
Yeah. I like what you did there. For the Chiefs to win out, Mike might have to start picking the other team like he did against the Lions and the Ravens or whoever else it was. Mike, picking the Texans this week? We haven't got to that episode yet, but maybe you should strongly consider.
Yeah, I might do it.
If you're thinking about that.
It was the Lions. I didn't pick the Ravens.
Yeah, the Ravens.
The Lions. Dude, what's funny is if you look back at our schedule at right around that time and how we were playing, the Lions was the one game you would think we would have lost.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was the one game you thought we would have lost. And
Honestly,
we pretty much trounced them. And so from that moment on, it's like, well, can I really pick against the Chiefs? Like, it's hard to do it because you're like, well, they beat the Lions. But, I mean, I'll say this. The Lions have kind of been underperforming as well since that mark. So maybe we caught them in their downfall.
Maybe. Shout out our boy Steve-O with another gifted membership. Let's freaking go. Thanks for helping grow the crew, Steve-O. And then our boy JCP, letting the boy watch, says Connor Embry was with his baby looking at golf clubs at Shields. I said, we still believe. Go Chiefs. Let's go. Let's go, JCP. You said, let the boy watch. That's what you told Connor Embry.
You better watch out. Chris Jones will adopt it if you let the boy watch.
Oh, let's go, baby. Appreciate the 5, JCP, but we got to get to this, baby. This was my favorite story that I saw about the Chiefs and probably the whole season. Because sometimes when you're on Facebook, you see some wild things. You see some stories that are top secret. No one else knows about, you know?
All the time.
There's always some stories out there written by a guy in Pakistan who just got done farming his goats or whatever and milking them. And he's like, you know what? This story happened in Kansas City and no one even knew about it. I have to do the Lord's work.
Off of YouTube and Facebook and get Chiefs fans to believe it. And
but this was
do they ever believe it?
This is my favorite. Shocking action. Chris Jones adopts an abandoned baby boy.
Hold up. Shocking action? If you couldn't read those 2 words together and tell me that wasn't a fake.
Mike, this is Gold Arrowhead legend. They are legendary.
Steve,
they have all the credibility.
Action. Who runs around and says shocking action? I think you say breaking news. Somebody wrote AI.
Mike.
And they did a horrible job of it.
They're in Pakistan. Okay. But anyway, my favorite part of this story is not that Chris Jones adopted the abandoned baby boy.
Who's this child they use?
That's the funny part. Like, first of all, whose kid did they throw on here? But anyway, let's get back to the story at hand. The quote from Chris Jones, baby. This sounds just like something he would say. He said, I will adopt the boy and take care of him until university.
He calls him the boy. And he calls college the university.
Chris Jones, all studious. He says, I don't seek fame or fortune. I just want him to have a better life.
What does he mean he don't seek fame or fortune? He held out.
Bro.
Look, if you can't put this together, this was fake. And a lot of people did not. Chiefs
they
fans
never
on
do.
Facebook have to quit.
Y'all got to stop. If you follow anyone on Facebook that is not called All Chiefed Up, go delete it. Okay?
Delete it.
If you follow anybody on YouTube that's not called All Chiefed Up, go delete it. Delete it, report it.
Don't trust it.
Tell it to go to hell.
It's a bunch of
Get
slap
it out of
nuts.
here. It's some slap nut stuff, Mike. What about that? Guys, we appreciate you being here today. You guys have been awesome. Thanks so much to everybody that has donated to the stream.
Steve, we got a 2-bomb from JCP, and he says, what about that Nick Jacobs update?
Let's go check it out. Hey, I'll go look right now. I got this.
No, you got to bring it on the screen.
Okay,
go bring it on the screen. So what was it? We followed him last night and give him a retweet. We had people to engage with his show.
Yeah, we're trying to help him out, you know.
And that was at what, about 8:30, 9 o'clock, 7:30 even. I don't know. It was early in the night, so it's not even been a full 24 hours.
We're just trying to help him. He's only got 25,000 followers on X. We have 51,000 people here on YouTube. We're trying to do him a favor. We're trying to be his friend.
Trying to be his friend. I don't get it.
And you know, just why can't we just all get along and, you know, talk about the Chiefs?
I thought Chiefs content creators were all accepting to each other.
Yes, but here's the problem with that. He's already kicked us off. He already kicked us off.
He's already kicked us off. It ain't even been 24 hours, bro.
Okay, here we are, Monday, December 1st at 11:27 a.m. Okay, Central Time. Follow. We're following. Hey, and just
does he have a tweet that we can retweet?
Look, I don't even know what he's talking about right here. That's 12 hours ago. Look.
That's him probably saying they followed me again. That was 12 hours ago. That was a tweet. They were like, what?
Mike, we're going to quote it. We're going to quote it, and we're going to say, man, we love Jason Siegel. Is that how you spell his name? Is that his name?
Why did you ask a question? We love Jason Siegel?
Because I was asking if that's how you spelled it. Okay. I think I did spell it wrong. So let me fix it.
I don't think you should write this.
Oh,
I think at this point you're just taunting him.
He's our favorite actor. Okay. Post. Can just helping him out. Yeah, we got it.
God.
And look, following. We're following. We see it. Let's see if we can stick with it, man.
I think the tweet probably ended it. Now I think you're just making fun of him at this point.
I'm not making fun of him. I love Jason Siegel.
Well, I do too, but he's not going to believe
How I Met Your Mother.
He's not going to believe it.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I love you,
what?
man.
Also, look, I think if you maybe hit follow and went on about your day, you may sneak it out for longer than 24 hours. But when you
we'll
do a
try that
retweet,
theory next time because I guarantee you
it
when we
puts
go
in his feed that we're looking.
Mike, I'm just going to refresh the page.
Shut up. There ain't no way he instantly ended it.
No. He's not. He don't have that quick of a trigger.
Quit. Okay, JCP,
go,
appreciate the 2-bomb asking for the Nick Jacobs update. Our next live, we'll do another one.
Absolutely. Like we got our boy Peter Ortiz in the house with a 20 bomb. Let's go. Said we need to send KC to rehab. We need to do something, Peter.
Need something, bro.
Something's got to give. You know, a lot of people thought that's where Josh Simmons was at, not, helping his family.
There were some wild ones. I wonder if any of those fake AI pages put that up. Actually, I did see one. He said, I am just out here helping my mother and trying to not ask for fame or fortune. It was like,
until I go to university.
Had nothing to do. She's helped me since university. What are we talking about? Bro, get back to the goat farming.
Oh, I hate them.
They goat farm all morning and click farm all evening. So
let's go. They just farming it up.
Going, baby.
I bet they play Farmville on Facebook.
Farmville played some Farmville in the spare time.
God bless. Oh, those guys are wild. Appreciate the 20 bomb, Peter. And then we got Daniel with a 5. Says, I think this struggle may be good for the Chiefs. This team is too average. Next year, maybe a little tough too, but 2 years, we should have some cap space. What do you think, Mike?
So you're thinking about this, and then you served
it
up to me.
I don't think this team's too average. I don't. I think that this is the best offensive weapons that Patrick Mahomes has had his entire career.
Yeah.
I think it's the best offensive line when they're healthy that he's had his entire career.
This offensive line we're going to put on the field this week may be better than the offensive line we had last year for the playoff.
Absolutely
push.
Is.
And we're talking about getting dismantled.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. I just don't get it. Now we can talk about the defensive side of the ball. And to be honest, they haven't been as bad as you think this year, if you really go look at it. But the one thing that they're really, 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 really bad at is stopping a third down. 28th in the entire league. They can't stop a third down. If they could get Jamari Connor off the football field and stop a third down, this team could go places,
Yeah.
Appreciate the 5, Daniel.
Appreciate you, brother.
Our boy Peter, been a member for 13 months as well, so still going strong. Let's go, Peter. We appreciate you, bud. And then let the boy watch with the 5 bomb. Says Nick Jacobs watch. Let the boy watch Nick Jacobs style. Let's go. Do you think Nick Jacobs has a boy watching just to see? Like he just sits at the computer all day and refreshes.
This is our last live of the week until Thursday night. We'll do a Thursday night live. Right?
Oh, we're not going to be on there come Thursday.
If Nick Jacobs leaves us on there and we are shown as we are still following Nick Jacobs on Thursday, I'll give away another shirt from the store.
We're still following him right now, so that's
not going to last for the day. I'm going to tell you right now, if Nick Jacobs still has us following him, so Nick Jacobs, if you hear this, if for anything, let us be friends together. And somebody here that more than likely we send a lot of people over to your podcast, 41 is the Michael, and tell them to watch you.
Yeah,
like go watch Matt Derrick and Nick Jacobs. I have nothing against those guys; they do good stuff.
Matt Derrick needs to ask harder questions at the pressers, though.
And Nick Jacobs needs to let us be friends on Twitter. That's all we ask. And number 2, if he doesn't do it, I'm going to give away something. So let somebody win something, Nick. Let the boy watch.
Let the boy watch. All right. Guys, appreciate y'all being here. Do us a favor. Hit that like button if you haven't already. That'd be awesome. It'll help us out tremendously. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, why the hell not? Go do that right now. We're at 51,000 and some change. We got to get this to 100,000, like ASAP, and we need your help. YouTube doesn't like to help us. The algorithm doesn't love us like it loves other channels. So you're going to have to help us out. Get on other people's chats. When you're watching other live streams, when you're on message boards, when you're with your family, whatever, just shout out All Chiefed Up. Doesn't matter whether in person.
Shout out.
Yeah, All Chiefed Up, baby. Get over there and watch
with your family. I want to toast.
That's the first thing you should say. First, Grace. thank Jesus for the food, and then you're going to turn around and you're going to be like, everybody, if you're not subscribed to All
Raise
Chiefs
a
Up on
glass.
YouTube, you're not a Chiefs fan.
Steve,
You know?
look, it's just a toast. Here's the toast. Raise a glass for that ass.
Yeah,
All
there you
chiefed
go.
up.
They'll know what's up. They'll know what's up.
And if they don't know about it, I don't know.
Also, guys, you can become a member of the channel at join.allchiefedup.com. It's just $4.99 a month. Go subscribe to that bad boy. It'll automatically come out. You won't even notice. And you're going to get some cool stuff just for being a member. Also, merch.allchiefedup.com. One more time, in case you missed it earlier. Today and today only for Cyber Monday, 40% off the entire store. So if you've been waiting around to get some horned up merchandise, you better get over there and get it today, because you're going to get 40% off giving stuff away, basically. We're not going to make a dime on this. This is just a way to get you guys this stuff as cheap as possible. So take advantage. Also, it helps us out just because, you know, you're repping us. You have our name across your chest, looking all beautiful and stuff. Guys, a lot of content coming up this week. We'll have the podcast out tomorrow. Shout out Zarda for sponsoring today's live stream. Get over to Zarda. If you're in Blue Springs or Lenexa, go get some food. Tell them All Chiefed Up sent you. Also, shout out DraftKings for sponsoring today's live stream. Mike, you got anything left for the people of the kingdom?
I don't. But watch the podcast tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be a banger.
It's going to be one of them must-watches.
Going to be a good one.
I'm rich.